One's first arrival into Venice must always be by boat. You can approach the city by train or by car, but that would be cheating yourself. Take a water taxi from the airport, or even the Ali Laguna bus boat for your first arrival into Venice. Because you won't believe your eyes. Because no matter how many times we have seen this place in pictures or in films, the actual sight of it for the first time belies belief. How can this be? Where are we? The pieces of the scene are familiar. There's buildings and water and other common accoutrement of 20th century life, but it's all so unusually arranged. The buildings are on top of the water, and it's all so old. And why hasn't it melted into the sea after all these years? Questions every traveler to Venice is confronted with, even though they may not know it. Even though "where's my hotel and what's for supper" throbs in your brain, you still can't avoid the other questions, and will have to confront them soon, or eventually. But we mustn't wait too long. Otherwise the churches and the paintings and the sheer shocking beauty of it all will squeeze the questions out of your thoughts. Questions like, where the hell are we? How did they do this? And my God, is this place real? I'll make a deal with you. My end of the bargain for your sitting down to share this with me. I'll let you experience a lot of it for yourself. I'll let you explore Venice on your own. Sort of. I mean, I brought you here with me after all in this little camera that I carry around with me. And I aim it and focus it on what I think might be of interest to you, but I don't have to give you everything, do I? Maybe you want to discover some things on your own. Maybe you want to form your own impressions of what I'm capturing for you. Maybe all you want is a traveling companion to arrange the trip and show you the sights. And someone who'll spit out the facts and figures of it all if need be, but someone who also knows just when to keep quiet and let you experience this on your own. So imagine you're here with me. We can't deny we're companions on this trip, but let's just say I won't speak unless you ask me something. Or more precisely, unless I sense that you, being of an inquisitive nature, would ask me something. Would have to know a little more behind the scenes of what you're seeing. I got plenty of that stuff, facts and figures, the history and art of this place. But my true gift to you is going to be this. I've brought you here along with me to Venice. You'll use my eyes and ears, you'll hear my voice. But I'll let you have your quiet moments to yourself. I'll let you form your own impressions of this place. I'll set you free in Venice, if I'm able, if only I can. Let's see if we can make this work. I've booked a room in the Hotel Gardena. I don't know where it is or how far I'll have to walk. I just handed the taxi driver the name of the hotel on a piece of paper. He nodded and said, see, and we're here together now. You did know that this was a taxi, didn't you? I do hope this is going to work. You got to keep up your end of the bargain, you know. Safely ensconced in our room now. You didn't need all that, did you? Safely ensconced. You didn't need all that. In the room now was all you needed. I'm trying. This is the bridge we floated under a minute ago, but you knew that, didn't you? Okay, the big boats on the water are the buses, vaporetti, or the singular, vaporetto. The smaller boats are the taxis. the view in the other direction. I'll zoom in for us. Hotel lobby. Carlo is sorting out arrangements for us.
Della Travaitalia, quelli dei transfer, Pronto? Avevano il voucher per i transfer all'arrivo, solo che l'agenzia New York ha detto che dovevano mandarli invece che non hanno fatto tempo a mandarglielo, che erano già partiti. E adesso sul brochure che hanno è scritto...
Yes, the water is blue-green, isn't it? Aquamarine. Well, I'm much more jet-lagged than you appear to be, but what the hell, let's get out there and see some Venice. These are the other boats in Venice. Yes, gondolas. Yep, that's right. A water bus. You catch on fast. No, a vaporetti is plural. It's a vaporetto. It's okay. Traffic signs, just like any street in any city around the world. Except they call out a warning at blank corners. An open area, a town square, is called a campo. Let's go a little deeper. Let's freeze time. And let's add music to enhance the effect. Every tourist must get well and truly lost in Venice, which is shockingly easy to do. So let's now take an aimless walk through some of the great stone maze of Venice and see if we can find our way through this labyrinth. Well, hello. She's impressed with my Steadicam, no doubt. Couldn't be the cut of my clothes. Move along, signore. Nothing to see here. Ciao. Good-looking couple. Listen to this. Venice was built upon 118 low, swampy islands. Why? Because no one else wanted this place. Because Attila the Hun and the other buttholes were ravaging the Italian mainland for hundreds of years, and the Veneti were sick of it and sought refuge here in this most inhospitable spot. Oops. This canal delineates 2 of the original 118 islands. How could swampy land support thousands of tons of stone? They drove tree trunks into the mud to support the buildings. The mud seals off the wood from air so it lasts and lasts. They did all this starting over 1,000 years ago. Are you getting the picture? This entire place is an engineering marvel of the highest order. And we're standing on one of the 400 bridges linking the islands to each other. Hey, starship. Do a quick pan here to catch that taxi going away. Speed limit on the canals, 5 miles per hour. Ciao, baby. Okay, which way should we go? I have no idea where we are. I shut the camera off to get my bearings, but it didn't help. So let's just stumble under this Sotto Portego and try this way a while. Entering another campo or square, another neighborhood, most of which have a well in them so the people could get their water every day. But what water? The swamp water couldn't be used. So get this, each of these little campos have a cistern below them. The rain would fall on the stones, filter down through sand into the cistern, and be drawn up by the locals from the well. Are you starting to get this place? I'm talking too much. Let's walk. Have you noticed the steel-faced walls? The shops are closed in mid-afternoon, and these steel security facades pull down over the shop fronts. But later they'll be rolled back up to reveal all kinds of shops selling all kinds of goods. Because don't forget, before the great age of discovery, before Vasco da Gama and all those other guys found a way to the Orient, if you wanted the good stuff, the spices, pepper, cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, ginger, the silks, all the stuff that Europe craved, you had to go through Venice. Venice was the trading partner from east to west. Their ships brought the exotic stuff from Constantinople and beyond, and the Europeans paid the Venetian merchants for it. And they paid them well, made them rich, and made Europe's life worth living. This is, of course, well, you must know this, the Rialto Bridge. This area was the throbbing heart of the original Venice. After they moved from Torcello, that is, but that's another story. This is where banking was invented, speculation and the lending of money. What news on the Rialto, said Shylock. And if your ship came in safely, the stuff would be loaded into your warehouse on the ground floor of your palazzo or palace, and you were a rich man still. This is San Marco Piazza, to be exact. Piazza meaning a big-ass square. That's the basilica at one end, housing the mortal remains of St. Mark. And this pointy piece to the right is the bell tower, the Campanile. 315 feet tall, built almost 1,200 years ago. That's right, it's almost 1,200 years old. Well, sort of. The thing collapsed in 1902 after standing here for 1,000 years. After some discussion where some people wanted to use the opportunity to build something else on this spot, they decided rather to build it where it was, as it was, and took a year to rebuild this tower, which will presumably stand for another millennium or so. Let's see if I can zoom into the action here. What would San Marco be without its pigeons? Pigione to the locals. Buy some seed, put it on your arms and head, and watch the little rat bastards peck like they were Hitchcock's birds. Anyway, while we're up here, let's get some views of the city. Ever seen a church like this? It's Western, certainly, but it has those Eastern-influenced domes from Venice's strong connection with its major trading partner, Constantinople, the old capital of Byzantium. Very exotic. This is the Doge's palace, the slightly less than almighty rulers of Venice over the 1,000 years it was a republic. We're in the campo of Santa Maria Formosa. It's about 5:30 and people have gathered, as is their habit, to have a chat, to wait for Papa to get home, to air out the little bambini, and to generally check out the scene. Let's join them for a while and participate in our own way in a genuine slice of Italian pie. Whoa. Oops. Sorry about the shake. If we were closer, we could hear what they're all saying. But it being Italian, we'd still be in the dark. But come on. You know what's happening in each of these vignettes. You know you do. Yes, they still wear fur in northern Italy. No, they don't care. Yes, they smoke in restaurants too, so there. Tourists trundle through this precious scene, unaware of what they're missing. Ciao, Gina. Che bella. Oh, hi, Carlo. Ciao. Okay, your turn. Come up with something. Uh-oh, Bambina hits the bricks. Here comes Mama. Ah, she's all right. Oh, man, tough gig. Plastic wheels on paving stones. Gotta rattle the baby teeth. Gotcha. Well, they look lost. Not unusual for this place. Blonde at speed going away. Oh, a handsome couple. Probably from Jersey. Popped into a shop for the uniforms. Nah, they look genuine. They're Italian. One of the ever-present cistern wells. They don't use them anymore, by the way. They're welded shut. They get their city water from Mestra across the way. Okay, did you get all that? Should we go around again? Yeah, let's. Come on. You come up with the scenarios this time. Okay, let's end this sequence. One last glance at Gina here. Just one of many locals sharing the space with each other and with us. Our people of Santa Maria Formosa. Arrivederci, everybody. Ciao, y'all. In Venice, there are a lot of little shops down narrow streets, as you've seen. But in these shops, there are craftspeople actually making the very things that they sell in their shops. Unlike a lot of other towns where you'll see similar type shops, these people actually make the very goods themselves instead of buying them en masse from a factory somewhere. Let's take a walk down some of the narrow streets and look at some other things, including peeking into the window and seeing some of the craftspeople at work, shall we? and effect out to black. In the middle of a commercial area now, lots of stuff to dazzle the eye. Gotcha. Costs about $70 for a 45-minute gondola ride, but you can get up to 5 people on one.
Car! Let me up!
And coming up is the delivery boat, bringing everything into and out of Venice, from Coca-Cola and Prosecco wine, and fish from the lagoon, and bread and tourist goods, to the garbage at the end of the day. Gondolas have the right of way over any other watercraft in Venice. And when they don't get it, boy, do they get pissed. Let's see if we can ambush some craftspeople now. Venice is okay in that regard, even though they float in tourist trinkets and crap. A larger proportion of the items for sale are in fact worked upon by artists and craftspeople, right before our eyes if we can catch them. Venice functions much the same as any city, but always with a watery twist. This is a police boat. Let's see if we can't get closer to this old pillar. Looks like Istrian stone or Carrara marble for all I know, but it's old. By the 1700s, Venice had over 200 churches within its relatively small city limits, always reflected in the murky green of its canals. A little later on, this uninviting facade will slide up to reveal a well-stocked bar serving drinks of all sorts, plus little bites to eat called cicchetti. You can't leave Venice without buying a mask. Okay, let's rent a video. But which one? Let's see. Okay. I think they're all in Italian. The moss on these steps reminds me of a problem in Venice, the acqua alta, high water, which floods the city under certain conditions. When the Scirocco and the Bora, two wind systems, conspire with a high tide to soak this place. Venetian Gothic architecture with the Byzantine influence later assimilated the addition of neoclassical buildings after a great fire burned much of Venice in the 1500s. Put a postcard in here if you're lucky. It'll be delivered back home in America 3 weeks after you sent it. If you're lucky. Now might be a good time to initiate a fantasy sequence. Take one gold herring, dress in black, add shades and an Italian pout. Bring the music up and sit back as the scenes unfold. Modern life within a very old city, past and present cohabitating in cozy comfort. the outside of our Hotel Gardena. Come back to Venice in the off-season again. The heat here is stifling in the summer, as are the hordes of tourists. Besides, it's much more pleasant to see this place peopled with locals in their long coats and fedora hats than tourists in t-shirts and shorts. Let's take a ride on the Grand Canal, that broad thoroughfare through the heart of the city. This time we'll float on a vaporetto, the cheapest water conveyance in Venice. Span the Grand Canal. This is the Scalzi, and you've already seen the Rialto. About 80,000 people live in modern-day Venice, about half of its former population. Venetians have always called their city La Serenissima, the most serene one. Gonna pick up some girls at a bus stop. Ciao, babies. Who's making all that noise? Hello, girls. If you can't afford a gondola, you can always take a traghetto, a gondola ferry across the Grand Canal. The local stand the tourists sit. Spot quiz, which bridge is this? That's right, the Rialto. Built in the 1500s to replace the wooden one, Michelangelo's design was rejected in favor of the local guys. Nepotism, maybe, but it's lasted almost 500 years and still takes your breath away. The Vaporetto pilots or bus drivers pride themselves in keeping to a strict timetable even in pea-soup fog. They got radar to help them. Okay, we're going to get off here and head for San Marco. Next to the Piazza San Marco is this little square called the Piazzetta San Marco, with its great view of the island of San Giorgio, where Palladio built his famous classical church of the same name. This is the base of the Campanile Tower. The Bridge of Sighs connects the Doge's palace on the left, he was the head honcho, you'll recall, with the prison on the right. The bridge is so named because of the supposed exhalation of air a prisoner would make when looking out of the window on his way from one to the other at his last glimpse of freedom for a while. "200,000 cats live rough on the streets of Venice, fed faithfully by the locals every day. They keep the rats at bay." A new day has dawned in Venice, and lo and behold, the sun is shining in Venice. Venice in the fog is wonderful, in the ethereal mist is very sublime. But when the sun is out and dappling the water on these liquid streets, it is very much indeed La Serenissima. Okay, on the lagoon now, heading for Torcello. Let's eavesdrop on these neighbors next to me for a minute here. Okay, folks, this is it, taking you back in time over 1,000 years, 1,200 years, 1,400 years. This is what Venice looked like before they built on it. These low, swampy islands. This is it. In the 900s, listen carefully, in the 900s, there were 10,000 people living on this island. Right now, there are only about 60 people. For hundreds of years, Torcello was a very rich and powerful trading city before Venice became Venice. Its decline is a mystery, but many people claim that the icing on the cake was the silting up of its two rivers, which caused the entire island to become a malarial swamp. So over the course of many years, the entire place was dismantled, and its building structures, its stone and its wood, were taken away and used to make structures on the other islands, including the city of Venice itself. Now all that's left is what you'll see in this musical montage. After that somber excursion on Torcello there, we're now on the island of Burano, which is famous for all of this finery that you see here. Burano became famous for lace making. Burano lace began in the mid-1500s with the invention of the technique of lace making with a needle. Burano lace became famous throughout Europe. Let's see if we can... Oh, thank you. Grazie, grazie. Zoom in here on... Of course, she's just embroidering here. She's not doing, I don't think. Let's zoom in a little bit closer. Oh, no. Is this the true Burano lace-making craft? Or is this a less difficult, more common sort of embroidery for the tourists? I can't tell. I'm not schooled enough. But I do know a gaily painted house when I see it. Unlike Venice, which is a stone maze, Burano is gaily colored. Yes, on the boat back to Venice now. Completely exhausted. My head is spinning with ruined islands and gaudily painted fishing villages. It's a bit of a long ride back. Completely exhausted now. What a very strange, wonderful place this part of the world is. With tales of St. Mark, and everything is so old. So very old here. Okay, back on the mainland. Well, how can you say the mainland? This is Venice. Back on the 118 islands in the lagoon called Venice. Something tells me to stay with these two a while on this very romantic evening in Venice. The sight of lovers feedeth those in love, said Shakespeare. He's playing the coy one. The course of true love did run smooth, also said the bard. Gotcha. The kiss you take is better than the one you give, William Shakespeare.
Si sente il gioco dei basi. Mi son quel gondoliere che ancora sul mare mi conduce. Non stiamo fidare di me. Mi faccio andare e ancora Poppe, hoi! Poppe, hoi! La gondola, sì, sì.
Well, that's it. Sharing too much Prosecco with the gondolier. I'm drunk. I can't drive. Which is okay. We're in Venice and we haven't got a boat. So we'll stumble our way home. Just stay away from the canals. Venice shimmers during the day when the water laps upon the stone, but at night, with a touch of mist in the air and the proper dosage of mood enhancement, Venice is magic. I'm for my bed if I can find it. Good night, everybody. See you next time. Ciao.